Listen, when I saw that that post Michael B. Jordan put up of him and Lori, and he was like, "I love you, baby." I said, "Oh hell, he gone. He
He
gone.
gone.
He
Did you
gone."
hear the hearts crushing all over the world?
All over the world, friend. All the cupids was. God damn it! Let me put my
Like,
arrow back in here. Dog it.
he's
What?
gone. He's
He is-
gone.
He's gone. He's gone. We have to have a moment of silence for all of the women that were crushing on Michael B. Jordan. May your tenderloin, may
Man,
you
your
get off.
tenderloins.
Oh my goodness. Like, yeah, he's gone. Eh,
That's all right.
it was nice while it lasted.
It
The
was
crush
nice while it lasted.
on The
I
Bachelor.
mean,
He was a nice looking
I'm not
guy.
a real big Michael B. Jordan. Like, I'm not gonna say I wasn't a fan, but a lot of women like him. They was fawning over him, but that's all cool. But he's
Because
out the market now.
he's not only just like a nice looking guy, he's not super fine. I'm not saying that, but not only is he a nice looking guy, you can tell he come from good stock. You know what I'm saying? Like he come from
Hmm.
good people. He know how,
Hmm.
you can tell he know how to treat a woman. Kind of like how Drake is. You can tell Drake just a good guy, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. When Drake gets like, I think women were like that when they found out Drake, had that baby. It was like, God dang, and she ain't black,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. So
Now they know that he's still looking for a lady.
hmm I
Yeah.
don't know. Drake getting himself together. I don't know what he looking for. He might be loving his bachelor ways right now. We thought he
He
was
might
like,
be, but I mean, he's been a bachelor for so long.
I know you would think he wanted to settle down with a black queen, but
Yeah.
maybe not. Maybe he wants her to be.
You think she's gonna be a black queen?
I don't know. I don't think she's gonna be just black. I mean, his mom is white, so it's not like how we can say with the brothers, "Oh, you come from a black queen."
Yeah,
He came from a
that's
white
true.
queen. So hey, whatever.
So you ready? You ready to get started?
I'm ready, girl. Let's get it.
Two dope girls, yeah, it's a podcast. Two dope girls, yeah, we speaking all facts. Two dope girls, yeah, we got it, just relax. Two dope girls, hit like, subscribe that. Two dope girls, and we on it, never slack. Two dope girls, and we got each other back. Two dope girls, and we coming for the cash.
Two dope girls, and we all about a bag.
The dope girls. All right.
What
Yeah.
up, LaDonna Allen?
Nothing much. Episode 18. We are in this thing once again,
Welcome, you
enjoying each
guys,
other.
to Two Dope
Yes.
Girls
Yes.
podcast. It is me. I am Grace. How are you guys? How was your week?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it was fine. I can't believe it's Friday.
Mm,
Like it went by so fast. I think we had President's Day off, of course. So we chilled on President's Day. And then
mhm.
the next day was a snow day. So
I
I've been dealing with,
know.
yeah.
It was
So I
so
wish
pretty.
it was very pretty. I wanted just a little bit more and I wanted to last a little bit longer. Yeah.
I
But
know,
it was
but we do have to be thankful because we could be in the
right.
situation. Yes. Thank God
Like
that
when
we are
when we were
not.
in Florida and I heard about that crash, girl, I was like in awe. I could not believe that because we had gotten into an accident around
Hmm.
the same time, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm just so grateful that we were able to come out of our accident, barely touched and
Yeah,
minor issues.
absolutely.
People did
Absolutely.
not make it out of this, something that they had no
It was
control.
like a mile long. It stretched a
Yeah,
mile long.
yeah, with deaths, girl. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's scary to me. That's
It's
always been
been
like a very, very big fear of mine.
mhm.
Ugh.
Price is no.
What's that?
ice is no joke.
Oh, I
Ice
know
and
that black ice is definitely no joke.
yeah, I don't ever want to be on the road.
Yeah, but I didn't do anything really for the week. I did nothing but work, work, work.
I saw the dogs. They went outside and enjoyed the
Oh,
snow.
they did. Little Metro. That was his first snow.
Hey, how did he like it?
He loved it. He was out there playing like a little dog that he is. He was just running around, running around, running around.
Really?
He had a good little time.
What about Nola? Was she not hearing?
Nola, she was looking out the window like an old lady at first, like, do I
Ah,
really want to go outside?
all
And
right.
then
I
she
know it.
finally got outside. She only went outside for a little bit, and then she was like, all right, I'm sick of this shit. Let me go back
Right.
inside. It's too cold out here.
Paisley went out there for 0.2 seconds and she came back to was like, it go. I said, going back in, baby.
Right.
Come
It
on.
looks pretty, but it is freezing cold.
She was excited to get outside at least.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was nice. I was grateful for the little snow day. I let up all the windows in the house. It just I don't know. I wanted to set the atmosphere and the mood. But yeah, that was the end of my week. I didn't do anything, but the dogs had their snow day. The girls had their snow day. That's it.
Yeah. That's it. We got some hot topics to talk about though. So
Yes. Which
that,
one?
that gives us a little entertainment for the week.
I know. What do you want to start with? Who you want to start with?
Well, I know. Well, we got a couple like sad things that we should just go ahead and get out the way.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Nicki Minaj, father Mirage. He passed due to a hit and run on February 12th while walking in the street near his home. Um, a guy, Charles, I think his name Charles Popovich or Povich.
Polovich or something like that. He was
Polovich or
70
something.
years old.
Yes, yes. And but he's finally surrendered to the police on Wednesday and was charged with leaving the scene of the accident. But get this.
Because there's more.
Before he left the scene of the accident, but not before he got out his car. I think it was like a Volkswagen or something. Got
Yes.
out his car and asked this man, is he okay? Is he okay? Now, a witness said that you can see plain as day that Mr. Mirage was not doing well.
Right.
Like, was messed up.
Right.
It was very bad. And you asked this man, was he okay while he was visibly dying and left him there to die?
And left him. But then he tried to alter his Volkswagen that he was driving in order and tried to hide it in order for them not to find him. So you knew you did wrong. You knew you did wrong.
Yep. So for that, he is going to be held accountable for not only the hit and run, but for tampering with evidence.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
So yeah, he altered his Volvo. Like you knew what you were doing. You knew
Right.
that you did wrong. You knew that you hit someone. You looked over this individual. You see that he was not doing well. You
Mhm.
left. You tried to cover up your tracks. Dude.
Yeah. You need to go under the jail. And I feel
Under.
so bad for Nicki Minaj.
I
She just had
know.
this beautiful baby,
Yeah.
and it's not like he was estranged. I don't think he was estranged. I think they had a relationship. So
Yeah, I don't know what their relationship was like, but it doesn't really matter.
it
It's
doesn't.
still
That's
that
still
that was
her
her
dad.
father. Yes.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
condolences to her
Yes,
and her family.
yes.
And I don't know. Hopefully some justice will come of this old ass 70-year-old man who knew
Mhm.
better.
Knew better. Exactly. Exactly. What else we got, girl? I know we got something else.
Look, so I don't know what it is about Governor Cuomo that people are like, first he was like the people's champion, and now people are they're against him. Why are they against him? I don't
No.
know why they're against him.
You know,
Well,
he go ahead. I'm sorry.
nuh go ahead, because I was going to ask for more clarity.
I really don't know what it is. I know, people are not liking, some things that are finally coming out, such as I think late last month, the state attorney general report alleged that the governor's administration underreported nursing home COVID deaths by up to 50%.
Oh, okay. I do remember this. And I remember this because I think their administration was saying that they did not report or underreported because they didn't want the Trump administration to take that information and kind of spin it into like some political scheme and like just trying to shine light on how Cuomo is not doing well and not
Yeah,
taking care of the
because he was the
citizens.
people's champ. People love him. People were for him.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
He was straightforward. He was like he took no shit. He didn't mind cursing. He didn't mind telling people put on your mask, do what you need to do.
Hmm.
And now it's like,
Yeah.
what do you think about that
Well,
though?
it's hard to tell because right now he's saying his team is saying that it was a matter of the reporting deaths of nursing homes, not necessarily like versus the facilities.
Mm-hmm.
So they were saying like maybe these people passed, but they passed at the hospitals and not at the facilities. So it has since released updated numbers on nursing home deaths, girl. Nearly 13,500 deaths within or outside nursing home. And the only number that they were disclosing is 8,500. Like
Really?
that's 5,000 deaths. Like why are y'all under reporting 5,000 deaths? Like that
It,
matters.
it does matter. And see, that would make me very skeptical of the things that you're telling me as a citizen of your state. Like, how am I supposed to go by what you're telling me and the statistics that you're giving me? How am I supposed to feel comfortable with that?
And they're trying to justify themselves by saying the total numbers never changed. The governor's office is just saying that it was a matter of location. Like it doesn't matter if they started at the home, if that's what their residence is, then they should be a part of those COVID deaths.
And see, this is what I don't like about politics. Like, you can never just be straightforward. You can't just say, you know what? Yes, we undershot the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
You got us.
You got us. Ah.
You call me redhead. Like,
Right.
yeah, they're gonna take it to their grave, girl.
Right.
That they didn't know what was going on. Y'all knew what was going on.
You knew where the money was. It was in the freezer.
Oh, you knew where the money reside. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Right.
John.
Right. I mean, you have to understand that what we want most is transparency.
Right.
So if you
Right.
can't be transparent with us, how can we trust you?
Right. We don't need to be sold a dream. Don't sell me a dream. Give me the facts and let me figure out how I what's my part in this? Like what's my next move? You know what I
Right.
mean? As a
Right.
citizen. Don't feed me BS and then have me feeling a certain type of way. Like, don't get me wrong, 8,500 deaths is still a lot of deaths.
Right.
But 13,500 that's a
That's
lot.
significantly more.
Significantly more. But, hey, that's politicians for you. Whether they be good or bad, you're always going to get some good and bad out of politicians. So I don't care how God driven they are, their great foundation,
Would
morals
you
are
ever go
amazing.
into politics?
Hell no. Hell no.
I
No.
actually thought about it at one point, but then I had to think about how my morals would be jeopardized, and I would not want my morals to be jeopardized, and I would never want to feel guilty about things that I do, because I know it'll be harder if you go through it trying to be straight and narrow, right? Instead of like
Right.
taking
Yeah.
money underneath the table or something like that. So
Yeah.
I thought about it, but then I was like, nah, can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know we talked about earlier the Texans and the issues that they're going through due to this winter storm, and it's
Mm-hmm.
really bad. It's like really bad. I know I saw oh, what's her name? That was on Basketball Wives.
Oh,
Um,
Tammy. Is it Tammy
Tammy,
Roman?
yeah,
Oh,
Tammy Roman had a
I
video, and
know.
it felt like it was so real and raw. Like the things that they're going through is not funny. You know, we've been
Mm-mm.
making memes and we've been kind of giggling and hackling at the things that they're going through, but it's real for them.
Right. I don't even look, I don't even participate in the giggling stuff. When it comes down to serious stuff like this, I just begin to pray for the people. I begin to do what I
Absolutely,
can as
absolutely.
far as donating because we
Mhm.
saw Beyonce and Adidas are teaming up with Bread of Life in Houston to
Mhm.
um to provide
Provide assistance.
resources and
Mhm.
assistance up to $1,000 for residents, and that's a lot of money, and that can go a whole hell of a lot a long way for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen the news. I'm sure you have, like the long lines for fast food, the long lines to get into Home Depot,
Yep.
grocery
Yep.
stores,
These people are
the
trying to pick their life up
all because of snow. They were not prepared for this snow.
without electricity. I saw a man put it was a video on I think maybe Instagram, and he was just going around showing you his home, and he was like he showed the temperature in the home, and it was like maybe in the 50s. Could you imagine sitting there? My
Mm,
babies are in here. My babies are in here. So yeah, it's big ups
my
to Be Good Foundations,
yes,
Beyonce's foundation. You
right,
guys, if you want to donate to Bread of Life, who is partnering with Be Good Foundation,
right.
you can go to breadoflifeinc.org. That's bread of life inc altogether.org.
Absolutely, because and they're and you can go there to donate monetarily, donate your
Mm-hmm.
time because if you go on their website, you will definitely see all of that information there. And I just
Yep,
encourage everybody if you can give $1, $2, $5, that goes a
I'm
long
going
way.
to do it.
It goes
Mm-hmm.
a long, long
Yep.
way. But on the other end of that spectrum, I do want to talk about this old asshole. I'm sorry, Ted Cruz. Did you see him go on vacation to Mexico
Mhm.
because of his children? They they were out of school and they were tired, they were cold, they were in the freezing home, and they got the luxury of just going to get on an airplane and go to Mexico.
So why is he an asshole for that? Why do you think he's an asshole for that?
You are supposed to be taking care of your state. You are a
Now who
public official of this state.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now. Okay.
Yes, you are supposed
I
to
thought you were
stay
just saying he was an
behind.
asshole for leaving the conditions because he got it. But no, yes, I definitely
No,
understand what you're saying
yes,
now.
you
Mhm.
are a part of this state. You
I
are supposed to stay back with your constituents. Okay, your kids
Mhm.
wanted to go away on vacation. That's fine. Your wife was going. You did not have to go. You did not have to leave the people that you
Right.
are supposed to stand behind and help protect
Mhm.
and make sure that they're getting their needs met. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree. He
That
definitely should have stayed back.
he
You
said
can
his
send
children
your
was having
kids.
a tough week. They're having a tough week.
Them,
They can go
them
to
kids
Mexico.
don't know what a tough week look like.
Come on. I saw
I bet
on
he.
social media where people were taking their food from inside of the house because of their electricity went out and putting it outside to keep it
To keep
cool.
it cool. Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay, that's ingenious, duh. But the fact that you really have to do that,
It's sad. It's
I
sad. It's a
know.
lot. It's a
Just think of the
lot, you
people who are
know.
just by themselves, who don't have anybody
Yeah.
that can give them that warmth and body heat maybe that they need.
The senior citizens,
Hmm.
the people that was already in poverty, like this. It's a lot. It's a lot to think about. It's I'm just so grateful that that I'm in my conditions,
Mm-hmm.
the conditions that I'm in. So my heart goes out to them, definitely.
Absolutely. But once again, like we did say, go to Bread of Life. What is the website again?
Breadoflifeinc.org.
Org. Okay, to donate if you need to or if you want to donate.
Yep,
Okay, look,
yep.
another thing that I wanted to ask you about. Did you see how did you feel about Serena being emotional after her loss to
Listen,
Naomi
let me
Osaki?
tell you.
Osaka, I'm sorry.
Say it one more time.
How did you feel
Say that one
about
more time.
her? Huh?
And her losing.
Yeah, like how no, not in her losing, but how do you feel about her emotional response to her losing to Naomi Osaka, but just when someone asked her if this is like toward the end of her career. You
What did
breaking
she
up.
say? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, she said if I ever said farewell, I wouldn't tell anybody. And then she got emotional.
Oh wow. Yeah, I actually didn't hear that interview. But let me tell you something. Serena Williams is the GOAT.
She is.
She is literally the GOAT of tennis. And Naomi is the baby. Like she's coming up in her footsteps. And I know for Serena, it's surreal because this is something she's been doing all her life. And to finally be coming to a space where, as an athlete, I understand where she's coming from. It's hard to finally say to yourself, or kind of to say out loud that, man, is coming to an end. You know what I mean? Like when you start losing the matches that you were once winning, like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm getting a little older now. Serena older than us. Like, can you imagine us out there like full speed with what, she like 20?
Yes, that is a baby.
I mean,
In
Serena
real
win.
life, that
She's
could be
still
Serena's
winning.
daughter.
Yeah, she's still winning matches, but I think she's just recognizing that her stamina is not the same. Her talent is still there, but you have these young, fresh legs, fresh talent coming behind you, and then she's a black girl. Like, I know she's like grateful and gracious, but I know it still hurts. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
that thought process of, man, this could be it.
But let me just read off some stats to you because this is why these are the reasons why she should feel so accomplished. So
Yeah.
accomplished. She has 23 Grand Slam single titles,
Yep.
7 Australia Open wins, most match wins at an Australian Open, and 81. That's 81. She's won 10 major titles since her 30th birthday, seven more than any other woman in the Open era. She's won four straight major titles since 2002. She's one of two players, male or female, in the Open era to win four consecutive majors on multiple occasions. And she's the oldest woman in tennis ranking history to hold the number one ranking. Like I can go on and 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 on. And she's accumulated over $92.7 million in prize money,
Yep.
all since the age of 14, since she's been a professional.
14. Yep.
Since
Yeah.
1995. Mm-mm. Since 1995.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. I'm sorry. But it's like coming from being an athlete, like I just understand where she's coming from, the feeling of having to leave something you love so much behind. Um, it's rough. It's just how you wake up one day and you like, damn, I'm old as shit. Like,
Every
life
day my knee
go?
hurt. Every day my knee hurt. That's what I think.
Like, where did life go? So I
I
know that's how she's
know.
looking up. Like, my God, I was just young. I was just young,
I
just like
know.
her.
I
So
feel that.
yeah.
I do feel that. What
Mhm.
you say right there, I get that and I understand that and I feel that. And it has to be
Yeah,
sad because you're parting ways with something that made you into who you are.
exactly.
But
And
then
she's
now she
going to
got
have,
little Alexis Olympia, and then
I
she can pass on the
know.
torch. She was out there just swinging away.
Yeah, she can. I feel like when she gives up, we're going to be sad because let me tell you something.
Mm-mm.
I am a Serena Williams fan on the court, off the court. I
Yes,
love Serena Williams.
I do too.
But yeah, she's gonna definitely be missed. But man, she has a legacy. Her and her sister have a legacy,
They do
and can't
absolutely,
nobody
and I'm
take that
excited
away.
to see Naomi Osaka do her thing and
Mm-hmm.
create her own
Her thing,
legacy.
yeah.
Yes, and like you said,
For
nobody.
our children generation.
Yes, for people like your girls. Girls like,
Mm-hmm.
well, like your girls. But I
Mm-hmm.
love that. I do. I still love that.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. Shout out to Serena for being the GOAT for dang near 30 years.
Look, so I know I've been having you watching these shows.
You have.
Have
You
you
know
caught
I ain't
up
got no
to
time for
Married
watching
at First Sight?
shows.
I know, but you have to as a part of the research project that I'm giving you.
I
This is a
know.
social experiment that's going on right now.
Right. I love Married at First Sight though. So
It's
that's one of my
intense
favorites.
already.
It is very intense. It's to the point where like I hate that I even started watching it. Like I would rather binge on shows like that.
I know. I hate that because you have to wait a whole nother week.
A whole week to see what this asshole Chris gonna do next.
Bruh,
Oh my god,
what
he
is
is an
up with him?
asshole.
I don't know.
He
He
is
just
toxic.
says what he wants to say. And sometimes he says things that are like, oh, okay. But then you're like, no, you really are an asshole. You really don't
No,
mean what you're saying.
no, he does not. And I hate that Paige is not understanding. Maybe she is. Maybe she's like, you know what? This is going to make for great TV. Let me just keep going
Hmm.
for 6 weeks and let me just, get my notoriety. And then people going to love me because they know he an asshole. So they're going to be like feeling sorry for me. So let me just let me get my blue check off on Instagram first. And then, and then I'm going to leave him at the altar and tell him I want a divorce. But
Because
let me
that's
tell you
goals
something. This
nowadays, the blue check.
yeah, he is toxic. The way he puts her down, the way he brings her up just to put her down every time.
And the way he does it, it's
You have
like
sex with
you reel her
her.
in.
Everybody can see it. Yeah, yeah. She don't love him. I don't understand the issue. Like, why haven't you ran for the hills? Like, this girl needs to run.
I don't
He going
know.
to.
Look, she said it was ordained by God and this is something that God wants for her. Like,
Oh,
what sign do
yeah.
you need? What sign do you need from God other than the fact that he got a baby on the way by somebody else to say, leave this man alone?
I told my friend that their relationship is either going to be really good or really bad. Like they're either going to get over this and then be
Mm.
madly in love with each other, which I don't see because he's really not attracted to her. And last week I wanted to recant my statement. I said not that attractive. That's not what I meant. She's very attractive.
Mm-hmm.
She's very attractive. Not just her body is banging, but her face, she's very attractive. But I understood what he was saying when he said that she's not what he's used to. But I don't think he should have ever said that to her
Right.
friends nor to her. If you're going to be committed in the process which embarked upon, and you need to be committed. Don't let this young lady down because, sorry, you're not the finest thing walking around here. I'm just trying to
Mm-mm.
say. You look
Mm-mm.
like you got thick ankles. I don't know. I don't know what to do with you.
Wait, did you say thick ankle?
He do. He look like he got thick ankles. I can't trust you with thick ankles.
Oh gosh, that is so funny.
Yeah, you
I
like
but look,
he
I
is
don't think I would trust a man with thick ankles either. So,
a thick neck and thick ankles. I can't get with it. I can't get with it. I can't trust you.
but his behavior is like super toxic to me. And I know we always use that language or that word toxic, but
Mhm.
it is because like you said, he was putting her down, like lifting her up just to put her down. Like, don't have sex with me, don't be intimate with me, and then say you're not physically attracted to me.
Attract.
That doesn't go
Hmm.
hand in hand to me because I would think that physical attraction has to happen first in order for an
First.
arousal to even happen, right?
Right. And then don't tell me that you come first before my parents, my grandmother, my baby mama, and even my child. But then all of a sudden now you need to tell me that I've been thinking about being back with
Going
her because
back
I don't
with
want my
her,
child
yeah.
to grow up. Like, I don't get it. I do not get it. And I don't get why Paige is still there.
She has so much, I want to say patience. I don't even know if it's patience that I want to
Mhm.
say that she has because that's beyond
She really
patient.
she really believes that God has really put her in the moment, and she's trying to do something that we don't do. Live in the moment and trust that God is going to bring you out on top. Whatever on top means, whether it's on top career wise, because maybe this show can take her career to the next level. Maybe her and Chris can go to the next level. Their love can grow for each other. Whatever it is, she just has so much optimism that she's going to come out on top. And I love that about her. I love that about her, truly. But
I do
what I
too, but
cannot stand is
that's kind of
her
crossing the
being
line of
dramatic.
being too naive too to me.
Yeah, it is. Like Sean tried to call me gullible last week. No, that's gullible. That is gullible.
I'm not even gonna lie, that was funny because I'm like, dang, I think all women are a little gullible like that. We do like a
A
compliment
little.
from other people. Okay, male or female, I still like the
Man, 'cause they gonna
compliment.
be oh wait, oh wait, oh wait.
But you know what I did not like about Chris at the latest episode was the way he handled himself when he was talking to the ladies after they went on a little ATV or four-wheel drive. It was what's her name?
Virginia and Clara.
Virginia and Clara. Like, if you didn't want to
Mhm.
answer their questions, remove yourself from the situation. If you didn't want to talk to them about it, just say, "Look, just respect my privacy. I don't want to talk about it." But he really went off on them girls. Nah, honestly,
He did. He did. I didn't like that, but how did you feel about after they got to dinner and how Eric, because they were late, of course, how he came at Chris? Like, do you think Chris handled that well?
no. Well, he shouldn't have got up because he wants you to be the angry black man. He wants you to be the angry black man. He
Yeah.
wants to incite you
Hmm.
for you to have that reaction. Eric needs to mind his business. Eric is like he's on that slippery slope of being like a little drunkard, like Chris said, for real, like his wife, because he been
He
drunk
trying to
since the
keep up with
time
his
they
wife.
said I do. Yes,
Yeah,
it's like calm
yeah.
down. Like you
And
came
he
in there on rah rah.
right. You can tell he is out his element, and he is like not. He's ready
He
to calm
is.
down.
He
And
is so
Virginia,
out his element.
yes, girl, he should have told Virginia, but to be quiet when they were, having a conversation after they went, what is it called?
What, on the ATV?
Riding. Yeah,
Yeah.
ATV riding. He should have stopped her there because she was doing too much there. Like, you're definitely in their business. Another thing that I didn't like is Paige had a chance to shut it down. and she just kind of keeps allowing Virginia to, you know, pluck at the wound. Like, Virginia, I know you are concerned about me, but right now me and my husband are handling, and we would for you to just back down just a little bit. I
She
think she
should
could have done
have.
that. Yeah, and it would
Yeah.
have, because she already can tell her husband can't take shit, like he weak as water.
And see, I think that she kind of wanted that empathy or sympathy from everybody. And at the same
Yeah,
time, like let him know that, hey, what you are doing is wrong. That's why these
yeah.
people are coming to me and telling me this.
Mhm.
And I'm kind of entertaining them because, yes, yeah, I get it. He's
I
being
feel
an asshole.
you.
Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah,
I think she's trying to keep peace so he doesn't get excited. And she's trying to keep peace so they can understand that she's okay.
yeah. Or that she's going through it.
Yeah, and just like let it be. Because I don't
Yeah,
think she's the kind of person to be like, look, y'all, be quiet, leave it alone, let it go. Because even at dinner, she was so apologetic.
yeah.
And I thought that was really sweet on her. And I think that was, you know, representative of her wanting to be a good wife and saying,
Absolutely. And he
you
just don't
know,
know what type of girl he has. He because
because he would have got
would
me.
have me, huh? All the hood would have came out. All
That
the
met
hood.
what?
Yeah. Yeah. No, sir. You not. Matter of fact, she can have your whack ass. I would get all
You
of it.
and that baby.
You and this daggone baby. She can have you. Matter of fact, what an expert said. I need you to do me another round.
Pastor Cal, where you at?
Right. Like, I
Dr.
need y'all to
Pepper.
be picked for me, because this ain't how this
Put
was.
me on next season because I
Right.
need to do over. God
I'm
bless you,
really,
Paige.
yeah,
You a
God,
G.
girl.
Because it couldn't be
I'm gonna
me.
be watching every week to find out what's gonna happen at the end of this 6 week. I need
These
to know
6 weeks, I want them to go by slow because I want to see what's gonna happen.
I'm ready to see if she's gonna say I want to stay married or I want to get a divorce. I need to know.
She better not stay married.
Unless he makes like a drastic change within these next couple episodes, which doesn't look like he will.
I
But
just don't see how the experts didn't sense the assholeness in him.
mm-hmm.
I
But
sensed it from his interview when he said he wanted the kind of woman who would always have sex.
but see, I'm telling you, they have to have one asshole in order to make good TV.
But his intestines
It's
hanging out. So I mean, he way beyond the asshole.
but it looks, from the looks of it, it looks like all of the couples about to go through it. So I don't know. I don't
I
know what.
know. Welcome to married life,
Right,
people.
right.
Da-da-da-da.
And we got another one, Love and Marriage Huntsville, girl. That damn
Ooh,
Martell. That damn Martell.
that Martell Hope, like Melanie say, Martell Hope.
Oh. Girl, oh my gosh. He is so insecure.
He gives
So
me anxiety.
he does. I know he gives her anxiety. I can only imagine how she felt, because right now I'm sure she feels like so liberated, so happy, like a weight
Mhm.
literally off her shoulder. Like her mom said, like, I'm really seeing you again. She lost herself trying to deal with that food.
Ain't that something?
And yes, that's subjective.
That's objective over here. No, but he every time he would talk or they would have a conversation or he would have a conversation with anyone, he would just bring up all the things that they've done wrong.
Yeah,
And I'm
to
like,
him.
bruh, to him, and I'm like, how are you ever planning to get anywhere with anybody and resolve any issue if you just keep bringing up everything that they've ever done wrong and you have been without fault?
Your mama even said, you just like your damn daddy.
Mama.
Come on, mama.
Because they'll tell you.
Sometimes moms like to, take the son's side even when they know the son wrong, but This
Not
one,
a real one.
she said, you just like your damn daddy.
Get your shit together.
Yes.
I can understand him wanting to always be around his kids.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, but at the same time, like you still have to respect her privacy. You can't just always show up because your kids are there. Did you see when he said he's gonna show up anyway because his kids are there?
Girl, Martell Holt will be, he gonna run himself crazy because
Mhm.
Melanie looks like she is just enjoying life. She's
You saw when she came in to young baby graduation, she had the little
yeah, she getting herself back. He just don't know, and
hmm
he's about to be sick because when women lose a man, we get all type of degrees, all
it's
type of jobs. We be a millionaire.
it's about to be Melanie 10.0, not even 2.0, 10.0.
Yes, and I'm just so excited to see what she's about to do because this fool, even when they had the dinner for their son, the I can't think of the other couple
I
name.
don't know the name.
Yeah, their son, and he went up to Miss Wanda like that. First of all, Miss Wanda is totally out of line. Tisha
She was.
inviting her mom and not thinking that wasn't rude. Like, come on, girl, you're rude. You're rude, and you.
She already knows how her mom is. She knows how
Yeah.
she reacts to things. She knows that she sticks her nose into business that doesn't concern her.
Yes.
So Tisha's wrong for that. That's Tisha's fault. All of that is Tisha's fault.
Yeah. But her mom just wanted her airtime, and she knew her airtime only would come if she would run behind Melody. So that's what she did.
But I don't even understand her running behind her. You didn't have to go tell that lady that she deserves better. I'm sure she
She
understands she
knows.
deserves better.
Yeah.
Right.
So I said it
So
was just her airtime.
yeah, and Martell, not Martell. It's Martell. That's
Mm-hmm.
his name, right? Oh, Martell. He was wrong
Martell.
for following her and getting in her face like that. Did he call
Yep.
her a
Yep.
bitch?
He does not have, I don't think he called her a bitch, but he does not have respect of a woman. He just,
Mm-mm.
I mean, he just was not taught very well how to respect women. I know his mom probably tried the best she could or did the best she could, but he does not have respect of a woman. He doesn't.
He doesn't. He an
Yeah.
asshole too.
Girl, Hot Topics was a mess today.
It
Yes.
was a mess, but I'm glad that we are able to bring in our special guest for the evening.
Yes.
All right, you guys, we have Mustaki Smith with us. He is 1/4 of the Dummies podcast.
I got the whole government tonight, didn't
Oh yeah.
Oh, his name is Stock PCE.
it? No, Stocksmith. You know, you gotta take the other part off.
Okay,
That'd be hard to
Stocksmith.
find.
Dang, I bleep it
It's
out.
all good. It's all good. No, we good.
So Mustaki, let them know who you are.
I'm Stocksmith, 1/4 of the Dummies podcast. If y'all not following, we are the Dummies podcast on everything. You know, you can find us. I don't know. I just want to say before I even get started with myself, I just want to say thank y'all to you all, to the Dope Girls, for bringing me onto y'all platform and having me. I want to say I'm proud of y'all because one thing about being a creator, it's hard. A lot of people don't understand how hard it can be to create.
Yeah.
You know, to come out every week and try to create new material that people are gonna like and enjoy is not the easiest of things. Not only that, y'all are wives, y'all parents, and y'all have to make sure that y'all time align with each other to be able to create every week. And y'all are doing a good job of that. I think y'all on episode is this 18?
18.
18.
Oh.
So I salute to y'all fan base, man, for rocking with y'all, man. And I want y'all to keep going. Again, I am proud of y'all. For like I said, it's so many people who can't be consistent with this, and y'all are doing a good job. So shouts out to y'all.
Mustaki. I almost feel bad about this game we about to slaughter you with. Thanks.
I mean, look, since he said that, I must say, when I first had this idea, he was the first person I came to, and he has been like my podcast mentor.
Yeah.
Everything. And I mean, I really do thank him for everything he has taught me along the way, taught Grace, just being our ear, our little shoulder to lean on. So we thank you.
Yes, no problem. We just getting started.
Yes, for blessing our little platform. But we about to get into this game.
Oh,
yes, Content
boy.
Factory coming soon too, FYI.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
All right, Masaki. So since we normally don't have too many men on this platform,
which will change.
Huh?
I said which is changing.
That's going to change, yes. But one thing I want to know is how well do you know women? So this game is going to be geared how well you know women. So
y'all coming out with it tough, ain't it?
Oh yeah.
We're just going to spit some questions or some scenarios to you, and you have to relate it to like a woman's product or something that has to do with a woman.
A woman's product or something that has to do
anything
with
that has to do with a woman.
All
you
right.
want me to go first?
Give me an example. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. What exercise can a woman do with her lady parts?
Kegels.
Okay, you got
that. Yeah, I'm ready. Come on, let's go.
Okay, that was a good one. LaDonna, you got one?
Okay, yeah. I thought that was the example. I was gonna let you go again.
Oh yeah, I think it was supposed to be, but I answered because I was excited to know
it. I'll let you have it.
Okay, so I'm going. My questions are pretty much going to just be naming a couple things, and you'll just let me know pertaining to a woman. What is that? All right. Okay. So, almond, coffin, stiletto, square, round, oval. What does that have to do with the woman?
Wait a minute. Go down that list again. Go down that list again.
Almond, coffin, stiletto, square, round, and oval.
Oh, I'm tapped out on that one.
What your drink?
A purse. That's a purse, ain't it?
You gotta take a little drink. You got it wrong. Take a little drink.
Sir, that's nail shapes.
Nail shapes.
Oh man. What's the little pointy ones?
Stilettos.
That's called stiletto?
Yeah.
See, y'all put me on. Nah, I wouldn't know that, man. Ain't no dude supposed to know that for real.
I'm just saying, you might have overheard your wife saying, "Oh, babe, I got these almond nails, or I got these coffin-shaped nails."
Jordan get her nails done.
Now that y'all say it in nail form, like almond well, or stiletto, I get it now. But
we can't say nail. Okay, that was good.
Give me a hint.
We're just trying to.
That ain't gonna
Camille Rose, Miss Jessie, and Aunt Jackie is all what?
Wait a minute, man. What? I don't know none of these folks.
Hey, one more time, Grace.
Camille Rose, Miss Jessie's, and Aunt Jackie.
Now I'm supposed to know this. Camille Rose, Aunt Jackie. I know them two that I'm supposed to know.
Yep.
You got makeup.
No.
Lipstick.
No.
Y'all ain't finna have me out here, mister. What is this?
Hair products. Come on. Now, I'm disappointed because you live with 3 females, but
oh yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know that stuff.
Okay, maybe you'll know this one. Hey,
y'all ain't finna have me messed up before we even get started.
Okay. Flower Bomb, Black Orchid, number 5.
Perfume.
Okay.
Now who drinking after that one? Nah.
Where's that perfume from for the bonus?
Where is it from?
Yeah, who where did
that's
they
a Wale song, Lotus Flower Bomb or something, ain't it?
Oh, that's Victor and Roth.
Oh,
and then you got Tom Ford, Black Orchid. You know Chanel, number 5.
I got the answer right. Grace, don't be trying to change my answer.
Jacobs Daisy.
Okay. What does OBGYN stand for?
Oh.
OBGYN. Now, I know that's the clinic they go. I know what you do there, but OBGYN. Shit, I was about to say optometrist. No, that ain't it. Gynecologist. No, I don't know. I don't know what it stands for, but I know what you do there.
Okay, what you do there?
Well, you were
OBGYN.
close.
They check
It's
your
a
lady parts. You go.
Wait, I can't even say it.
Look, see?
Obstetrician and gynecologist.
Yes.
See, I knew it was those two
Okay,
things
so what's
in it.
the obstetrician? Like, what do they do?
Obstetrician, ain't the shit. That's the eye doctor. Ain't it?
No, optometry is the eye doctor. You're so. They're the ones that birthed the baby.
Not an ophthalmologist.
Y'all announced what podcast I was coming here from.
The Dummies podcast, you guys.
But you so smart. Gosh. Let's see. Okay.
I never set up a gynecologist appointment.
You haven't, but you got some damn children. You just saw them motherfuckers come out.
This is true. A very traumatic experience, I must say it.
Okay, let's see. Micro, knotless, faux lock, feed in,
braids.
Okay.
Yeah, see, like now y'all getting in my territory. Now who drinking? And Grace, this not even right because one drinking and the other one ain't.
I have water.
I know who to blame. I'll have that talk later.
Yeah, please do. Okay, so what is a pumice stone used for?
A who?
A pumice stone.
I'm not even finna pretend to know what that is. I have no idea.
It's like a little stone that we use to like scrub our feet or like dead skin. It could be used on your body.
Y'all don't use the little thing that look like a file that have the
that
look like a little cheese shredder
at the bottom of it too. Mm-hmm.
That thing.
Yeah.
I never heard of a pumice stone.
What it look like?
A little cheese shredder. You know where you shred the cheese? Yeah, that.
It really does. That's a good comparison. How many more you have?
Okay, I can do 2 if you I got 2 or 3.
That's fine.
Okay. Body wave, deep wave, kinky curly, loose wave.
Hair.
What kind of hair?
Kinky curly.
No.
Body wave.
Bundles.
Weave.
Bundles.
What? Come on, you got to give me credit. I said hair. No, you drank. You drank. I got that right. Hair. That's on you.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to get that 2B pack. I don't know what that means. I just think that's like the black pack. Wemby. Yeah.
Wemby.
Yeah, see? I know a little something.
You know a little something. I did it to you.
You know a lot about hair, except for the products.
Grace, you coming up with stuff that I have never heard of in my life.
Ask Jordan. She knows. Okay. What do you call a woman who agrees to have another or carry the child for another person?
A surrogate?
Okay.
Good. A surrogate.
I
don't know what you said the first time. You say surrogate?
Well, I might not have pronounced it right. Again, okay. I come from a different world, but surrogate.
Okay, good.
Yeah, see, y'all drink up, LaDonna. You got to drink for Grace then.
Me and Grace home.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Okay. Speedy, vintage flap, Birkin, never full, GG Merrimont.
Those are bags.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wifey better have all of them.
Yeah. Drink up, LaDonna. Yeah.
Got one more if you don't.
I have one more. It's sort of kind of like the one that you just did, but what product do you associate with the name Giuseppe Zanotti?
Well, I know for dudes, them Giuseppe's be them little big ass shoes that them people be wearing with the little straps and stuff on it. But I think they make bags and stuff too for women.
I was thinking of the shoes, but I'll let you go with that.
Yeah, the space boots.
Not the women, the heels.
He's talking about the men. Yeah. He's so
see,
they're hideous. Hideous.
LaDonna.
Sorry. Yeah. Take one for the team, girl. Take it for the team.
Let's do it.
Okay, the last one.
Grace left you hanging.
I know. Last one. Skorts, Daisy Dukes, Bermuda, pedal pushers, capris.
Oh, that's the shorts. Shorts, pants, bottoms. Oh yeah, I know all of those.
Shorts, pants, bottoms.
LaDonna.
You know. Okay. You wasn't gonna let me get past either.
Nope, because y'all did me wrong. Y'all tried to get me bad at the beginning, and I'm on.
the
I'm
example
on a
that
win
I
streak.
gave, you did good. So I thought you were gonna do well the whole entire time.
Well, I missed the first one or two, and then I went on like an 8-question run, didn't it?
You did. You did a good job. Good job.
Great job.
Thank you.
So yes, the game was awesome, but we really want to get into this topic because I think it's something that our men and our women listeners can enjoy, can gain some knowledge from. But the topic at hand today is how to be a man when you were never taught how to be a man. How to be that father figure, how to be that male role model when you've never had a male in the home, when you've never had, you know what I mean? Like no grandfather, no father figure to look up to. Now all of a sudden you have a family, an entire family, you have sons, you have daughters. How do you know how to teach them? And that's something we wanted to get some insight from you, because of course we grew up women, and I know Grace has a son, I have daughters, but I do have a brother, and I do see how my father raised him. So I can give a little bit of my opinion, but I think your opinion would definitely be received very well.
Right. Wow. That's a heck of a question. Like, before I even get to that or go into that, I first want to say that I speak for myself and my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I am not the opinion of all men.
Right.
Men is subjective, so what I may think may be different than another man. It's been plenty of times I've listened to different platforms, and they've had a male guest on there. I'm talking for men, and he didn't sound like something I would think. So
Right.
I want to be able to say that first up front, because I don't want any men listening to be like, man, I don't what he talking about, and I know y'all married. I don't want y'all husbands or something to be like, man, that he don't speak for me, because sometimes women will go back and be like, well, Mustaki said that,
Right.
this right here, and I don't want to have to black nobody eye up, So, so I just want to get that disclaimer first. And I just say, man, like the times that we, are in right now are a little different. I strongly feel like there's a lot of men out here now who are actually stepping up to and doing what it is that need to be done, whether that's being coaches or being fathers, being present in the lives of other young Black males as well as daughters, but I feel like, for me, I grew up in a single parent home with just my mother. But one of the biggest misconceptions was that, like, oh, well, you grew up in a single parent home with a mother, you didn't get everything you needed. But for me, without my father being present, that actually was the catalyst for me to be that much more of a father. Like, I wanted to, since he wasn't there, I wanted to make sure that I was there, and I wanted to make sure that I was there for every moment, or be there to help teach XYZ or give game back to daughters, or, I got 2 daughters, but, if I had sons, I wanted to be there for them. Or, even if it's somebody else who got sons, I want to be there for them and their sons and get them information. But it was so many times that, like, for me, football, believe it or not, was I had a lot of men around me who were coaches who wouldn't let us do the wrong thing. They, if your pants was low or sagging, hey, pull them up, son. If you was talking to a teacher crazy, they was at the door that instant to make sure that you corrected your behavior, or that you wasn't just running out here just doing any old thing because they believed in you. And having men like that around us who believed in, some of the things that we were going through helped kind of be the catalyst for me being in a position where I am today, to make sure that I am present for my kids, or doing what I need to do for my family.
Let me ask you a question, because you mentioned that coming from a single parent household, that made you want to be present for your family whenever you had a family. So what made you just feel like that was what a man is supposed to do?
I learned early that, to me, no matter what anybody says, it's a 2-person job.
Yeah.
Whether y'all together or not together, even as being a single parent, me and myself for a while, it's even some stuff that I feel like if all men tomorrow became single parents and they had to raise kids, I feel like it's something that we would not properly give that child growing up. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a two-person job. So whether y'all together or not together, I feel like it's things that we both, men and women, need to give to that child in order to help them be, more successful.
Right.
And the more love and the more hands on deck to be able to like groom that child, the better. And that's just my personal opinion of it. And that's just how I feel about it.
My brothers are the same exact way because we grew up in a single parent household. My mom was the only one that raised us, and I know they were both hell bent, myself included, but I'm not a man, but they were both hell bent on making a solid family union because
Right.
that's what they did not have.
Right.
And they have that with their family, and they do everything together. And I see it, and I love it. I think it's admirable because that's something that they were like adamant about. They're not going to have children and not be in the household or be in their lives.
Right. And I'm sorry, because I don't think I fully still answered what you asked me. And I just feel like for me, like to know, how did I know? I just felt like when I was growing up, there wasn't, and I was able to start understanding the shortcomings that I was missing from not having a dad present. That made me know how important it is of a role for me when it's my turn to be a dad. Right. And so that was something that was just real instrumental and big for me. And I didn't need somebody to tell me that. It was something that I self-checked and saw that like, no, man, like you were missing XYZ. Don't do the same if it's your turn. And that's just how I kind of, came to where I am.
Did you grow up with like some of your friends or some of the people that you hung around? Did they grow up in a 2-parent household?
Most of my friends actually grew up in single parent household.
Really?
But I will say I had a friend, man. My friend Marcel, man, and his dad passed. His dad was one of the coolest dads that you could find. He embodied everything it was to me to be a father. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a safe refuge for us to go. So that let me know that, it's safety over here. Like we could easily be doing whatever we was doing, but he felt like if we was in his house, we was good to go. And we were. He provided food, he provided shelter, and he made it be a safe place. Even if he was gone or working and stuff, we knew that was a safe place to go. He was going to check in on us and make sure that we was doing everything we needed to do to, I guess, be not caught up in the wrong situation. So
right. Because it's so easy,
it is. So it's too easy.
Especially when the mom in the household, she's already working. And she's doing her best to take care of a man that she knows nothing. She's never grew up as a man. You know what I mean?
And that's crazy. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was about to say the reason I asked you that question is because I've overheard a guy that grew up in a single parent household, not really a single. He grew up with his grandparents, and he said that he would gravitate to friends that had both parents in the household. And that's and it became instrumental to him because it's kind of where he got that picture of how to be a man, of how to be a family man, of how to raise a family from, because, grandparents are older. You know how grandparents are.
The same
they do our kids. They let us kids do whatever they want. They don't like they do us, like they did us.
But grandparents don't care when they become grandparents.
Yeah, they say I'm tired.
Yeah.
Fuck them kids. What they say?
Fuck them kids. go sit your ass down somewhere.
Right. So I just, that's why I asked you, had you gravitated towards friends that did have both parents in the household?
Well,
but
like
that's go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't have very many friends that did have, like, I remember, like, if I would find somebody, and it's crazy that we do this in our community, right? Just to me, my personal opinion, I'm not speaking for nobody else, but it's crazy. Like, I'd be like, oh, your dad stay with you? Like, it used to be crazy to meet somebody who dad stay. Oh, your dad there? And like, as dudes, we'd be scared of women who dad stayed there and shit's like, oh no, she got a dad in there. You gotta straighten up when you go over there. Stuff like that. It's just little things like that. But to your question, like I said, my friend Marcel, his dad, although they were not together, his dad was there. You saw his dad, you saw his mom, and they weren't together, but they show a good example of co-parenting and why it was two people needed to do this job. Because I just feel like if it's one person or the other, it's just too much. It's not a balance when it's one more than the other.
And that representation matters too, because like you said, if you see them and you see that their presence, both of their presence is needed, it's different from seeing one person in the household and the daddy barely there, or the mom is barely there, and the dad is taking care of everything in the household. So seeing how the dynamic works between the husband and wife, that absolutely makes a huge difference.
It does.
So who did you go to for your life lessons? Like, who taught you how to tie a tie? Like, you know what I mean? Like, those are life lessons I could not see me teaching my son, or you know what I mean?
I'm finna tell you something that was so trash. My friend Todd, he's also part of the Dummies podcast. It wasn't until I was an adult that I learned how to tie a tie, and Todd taught me how to tie a tie. Really? Now, the crazy thing about learning how to tie a tie, Todd is left-handed. And the way he taught me, I realized was left-handed, and my tie used to be always skewed the wrong way because he the one taught me how to tie a tie. But that was literally, that was the first person who taught me how to tie, a friend. Yeah. And so sometimes that's one of the drawbacks. Sometimes you have friends that they don't know themselves, right? Right. And so how can that friend teach you something or give you some kind of wisdom or game if you don't have that man present to help you be better? Luckily, I had a friend who had his head screwed on right. He could teach me like, no, bro, this is how you tie on that tie when it's time for you to go to that event. Right. And he taught me that early. We was like, when I say early, it was kind of late for what I would want to teach my son, but it was early enough when I was just trying to get into professional jobs and go seek job interviews and things like that. So shouts out to Todd.
Hey, Todd. Shout out to Todd. But that's LaDonna, you did bring up a point, because I raised a young boy, and me and his dad weren't together. It's not like his dad wasn't in his life, but when it came to those things that happened in the household, I mean, I know I probably would embarrass him, but like the first time he woke up with his little thing hard, I was like, put that shit away. And I'm screaming because I don't know what's going on. But I'm sure if I had a husband in the household at the time, I could be like, look, talk to your son because he woke up with his thing hard. Go in there and help him out.
But I'm like, do you allow them to go ahead, and do you tell them it's okay to masturbate? Do you?
Yes. I tell my son what I feel, whatever comes natural for you, you do it. Mm-hmm. So
what about you, Masaki? Like, did your mom ever catch you? Did your grandmother ever catch you, doing?
Not that I can remember. Not that I can remember, but I do know my mom used to catch us late night watching them little Cinemax movies. Man. The little hunching movie. I call them hunching movies because they don't be having no action on them. They just be purely hunching.
Playboy.
Yeah, she caught us that.
And nothing but noises they make.
But I remember like my 8th grade year. I grew up I was born in Mobile, but I was spent 7 or 8 years up north. And when I first came back to Alabama, my mama, the first thing she gave me some condoms. It was in the 8th grade. And she was like, you better keep these because these girls down here fast. And that was all she said. She said, put that shit on and just know that the girls down here fast. And that was just a lesson that, like, although it was quick and to the point, I got what she was saying.
Yeah. Would you have wanted that conversation from a man in a more detailed way?
It probably, if it came from a man, it probably would have been in a more detailed way.
Yeah.
And that's not saying, I don't want to come off like saying that a woman can't tell you that, because I mean, me and Grace, man, we've had these conversations multiple different times. You know what I'm saying? So women can give that conversation, but see, my mom come from a different era. She's old school, traditional with that shit. So she's definitely not going to sit down and teach you every in and out. Whereas now, when Warren was coming up, you probably did that a little bit different than how my mom would have handled it. So
yeah, I mean, I would teach him about walking on the right side of the street with a female, stuff like the chivalrous stuff that I would teach him.
It's crazy that y'all say that, because Jordan got this so-called friend. I won't let her call him boyfriend. He's just a friend, and we're gonna say that.
How old is Jordan?
LaDonna, don't you start.
How old is Jordan?
She's 14.
Okay.
Right.
Just to let you know, I met my husband when I was 14. So don't.
And listen, when I say don't you start, I already knew. I listen. I know y'all met in the 9th grade. I know how all that went. Listen, look,
You don't want to hit
y'all
none of
y'all have a great union, but I'm telling you, if he come at 15 with Jordan, it's over. But no, I was saying that I had a conversation with her because they were outside standing in the street, and you know they walk from stop sign to stop sign. I could see him, and he had it on the wrong side of the street. And I tried to tell her, she was looking at me like I was crazy because they don't understand it. Like, no, he got you on the wrong side of the street. You understand? He got you on the side where the car come. So if a car come and hit you, you over it.
Right.
And that's stuff she needs to know. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's things that a mom can teach a girl, but it's also things that her dad needs to talk to her about. You know, we can come from an emotional side of a man. You know, I can, even Parker, even now, y'all, she had this little boyfriend when I think it was like maybe last year, her first grade year. His name was Rusty. Don't ask.
Okay, Rusty.
But you know, when she went to her dad, he was like, "You ain't got no boyfriend. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about that." And I just kind of let her talk about it because I remember when I was in the first grade, I had a guy that I liked, a little boy that I liked, you know, and we didn't do anything. It was just we liked each other, you know. So I don't want to have her so scared to come to us, but I know men tend to make, you know, they tend to make the daughter scared, and they tend to make, you know, the boys that are coming to them scared. So go ahead.
And that's a great point that you make because I'm faced with that now.
Yeah.
Jordan is 14, and I do think that she's uncomfortable coming to me about certain things because she thinks that I'm like, some of the things she'll think like, oh, he gonna go beat him up, you know, things like that. But I feel like I try to tell her all the time, there's no person who can give her more game about a boy than me. You know what I'm saying? So come to me. I don't care what dudes say, like it's against the code to throw salt on a grown man. I'm telling you, little boys, I'm throwing salt on my 14-year-old daughter.
Know.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give her all the game that I need. But you know what I'm saying? Like it is, to your point, it's just really it's a hard line to try to find, you know, your daughter if she's comfortable coming to you and telling you the things that she needs to come tell you versus not telling you what she needs to.
Absolutely.
Do you allow her that that avenue to come to you without judgment or ridicule or any kind of backlash? Because you know, as kids, we're already afraid to come to our parents.
It's super hard, but like I'm so crazy. No matter who it is or what it is, if you come to me and say, and I tell her all the time, come to me and say, I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
You come to me that way, I need to talk to you. I'm throwing away all judgment. I'm throwing away all anything. You're saying you're being transparent, and you coming to me saying, I need to talk to you. That means I need to make this as safe as a place as possible for you to say whatever it is that you need to say. And I always try to tell her that. Now, it's still, again, one thing is she gonna really come to me and say that and say whatever she need. But whatever she tell me after saying, hey, I need to talk to you about something, I'm gonna be as open and honest and straightforward as I possibly can be.
Right. That's good.
What were some of the things that the women in your life taught you about being a man since your father was not present or wasn't fully present?
I say this, and I was just crazy. I was just talking about this. My mama was a trooper. I don't care what I know that nowadays it's a lot of speculation, and is it okay to say women are strong black women and all of that different stuff? But to me, when I say strong black woman, I'm not talking about the trauma. I'm just talking about how in awe I am of this great being. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to sit in here and be like, oh, I know niggas, they'll kill me. Like, oh man, here you go. You know what I'm saying? But I like my mom really taught me. My mom was a life lesson teacher. Like I feel like she was one of the best persons at teaching life. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it prepared me for. She always tell you like, all right, you're gonna have some ups, you're gonna have some downs. But when you're too high, get prepared because something can happen to bring you down. And when you come down, like, you know what I'm saying, don't sit there, don't waddle. You might cry today, but tomorrow get your ass up and figure out how to change that situation. And that was something she was real big on. And so like now when something happened, I don't really stay that long because it ain't time to stay that long. It's time to like, okay, that happened. I'm mad about it. I'm messed up behind it, but now what am I gonna do to change that situation? And I learned that from my mama. You know what I'm saying? And she imputed that in me. So like that's just how I feel. Like when I say strong Black women, that's somebody who taught me stop waddling in your problems long because you're gonna have to figure out tomorrow how to fix those. And that's just how I look at it. So
let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Did she do the same with your sister that she did with you and your brother?
Indeed, my sister had a different perspective because y'all talked about sometimes the mom working. My mom had a travel season. I loved it. My mama travel season was from like August to January, where she had to travel a lot. Like she'd come home, she'd be home for like a week, and then she might travel for 3 days, then come home for 2 days, then be gone for another 3 days. My sister she was the MVP. My sister was step in, she was in high school, so it'd be me and my sister be like, hey, take your ass to football practice. Hey, do your homework. Hey, I cook. You know what I'm saying? Hey, go clean that bathroom. You know, that was my sister who was doing that. So
that's so awesome.
I feel like she stepped in and she was very big, and she's also instrumental in that. And I know sometimes when we talk about men and not having women present or men present, I'm sorry, for me, sometimes having some of those women around, it helped balance me. You know what I'm saying? Help nigga clean up. Hey, don't leave the seat down. Let that shit down. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, because y'all men ain't gonna do it. Y'all gonna be nasty.
And I
couldn't afford to be like that though. I would get towed up in my house.
I feel like sometimes 2-parent households cripple some children. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, because it's a great thing to grow up in a 2-parent household. But I know, like my parents, for example, I told you I played ball. You know, I was always doing something. Like, you know, I never was that kid that was at the house that just got to sit and watch TV, because I was always doing something extracurriculum. So my mom would make up my bed. My mom, you know, would do all these things. So now when it came to me actually having my own family, I'm having to relearn all this stuff all over again, because I never was really taught, because my mom kind of did it all. Like she felt like that was her role. And then my dad had his role, right? So my thing is, when you have children like that, you know, like you and your sister, that kind of, you know, had to do things for yourself, then when you got your family, it became easier for you to be a helpmate to your spouse. Whereas you have some men and some women that come into relationships or come into marriages, and they so dumbfounded on what the fuck to do. It's like, you know, I don't know. I'm in space. I don't know what to do. My role was just to sit and chill. But I feel like you're more well-rounded. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this is just my personal opinion of it, and people may disagree out there, and I'm okay with that. But I feel like with women, and it's just me, my perspective from a man's perspective, I feel like a lot of men, we were not taught how to be maybe husbands or be fathers and stuff like that. So I feel like sometimes I know with women, it's like, I'm tired and I'm doing this. Why doesn't he know to do X, Y, Z? Men weren't born with that instinct. Men learn to be fathers, and we learn to be husbands and stuff like that. Sometimes y'all have skill sets that are already with y'all from day one. My little 2-year-old walk around with a baby that she take care of. She put the baby in the bed. She get a baby food. I had a little G.I. Joe, or I had a little football that I threw in the backyard. Nobody really told me that I didn't take care of the football. I threw that shit all over the place. But I say that to say, like, sometimes with women, like, if it's something that y'all want or need, to your point, like, just tell us. Sometimes men, like, it's crazy as it sounds, like, why should I have to tell him that? If you want to see that action or you want to see that change or done, just tell him. Hey man,
I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that because I feel like women are a lot of things come innate to us. It is a natural born thing for us to do and take care of and do
and it's natural because y'all
everything.
learn it. Y'all learn
Yes.
it.
And it's like when we get into a situation, whether it be a marriage, whether it be a job, whether it be anything we're tossed into, we know how to acclimate ourselves. But when it comes to the man perspective, and this is just my point of view, it's like you really do have to tell them what you want because they don't know. They're stuck in their same world. So it's
And
like,
And it just
and again,
becomes frustrating for us, I think.
yeah, it do, but I and it's just again my opinion. I just feel like if y'all start telling directly what you want or what you like, he'll do it.
yeah,
Especially if it's a man that's there for you or that cares about you or something like that. He wants to make sure that you happy. Most men, like if I go out 3-4 nights in a row and you don't say a thing, you don't say nothing. Like you just like, oh, okay, all right, see you when you get home. See you when you get home. That fourth night, I'm like, but she ain't saying nothing. Where them flowers at that she like? Where them like we kind of know that it's time. Like we've been tripping and she hadn't said nothing. Let me make sure I do something that she likes. And I just feel like, it was a time too, like I said, about being a parent. I was trash. Like I would come home, take a little power nap, and she'd be over there cooking and cleaning, and I'd be over there just having a great little nap, wake up. She looking at me, man, why don't you do something? I'm like, what you want me to do? Go a bath or do something. This what you want me to do?
Find something to do.
It wasn't hard for me to go do it, but once I had to be, I know it sounds crazy, but once she told me to do it, I realized like that was something I needed to go do. And it helps because again, we're not raised to know that shit. Y'all get that. Y'all get the little castles with the house and all of that. We don't get all of that. We just
that brings me to my next question. How does this affect you? How does not growing up with a man or male figure around you affect you emotionally once you're grown?
It depends. I tell people all the time, man, like my story is, my dad was around till I was like 5 or 6. Went away. I didn't see him again till I was like a sophomore in high school. Knocked on the door. I was like, I could tell because I lived in one of those houses. I'm from Tomaville. That's the hood. It's a shotgun house. It's a front door and a back door, and it's all you could probably see the back door from the front door. So when he run the doorbell on the front door, I was like, wait a minute, nobody really come to the front door. Everybody come to the back door. Swung the door open, and he looked at me. I know who he is because I know what my dad looked like. And he was like, Mustaki, right? Shit, that's my dad. Like, what the fuck you mean? Mustaki, right? Cool. Right. So he brought somebody over there like that he wanted to visit my mom. But here it is. I haven't seen you in ages, right? And here you come like saying like, hey, Mustaki, right? Like, hey, I brought somebody here who, like he didn't know who I was. He had to get that. But for me, it was always like oh man, I don't care what happened to him. Oh man, whatever happened, I don't really know him. Because again, I was 5 and then I didn't see him again till I was 16. And I didn't see him again till like 22 or 23 at my brother's wedding. He came and I saw him while he was at the wedding. He kind of looked broken. He kind of looked like, look at all these years I've missed with these people. And he did try to actively start saying like, hey, let me mend this relationship. And for me at first, it was kind of like, I don't know about this. It was easy for my older siblings. I'm the youngest. It was easy for them because they had that relationship with him. Whereas for me, I didn't really know him. And I think it was harder for him to come into relationship with me. But what I say to this is he ended up passing like a 1.5 years later. Wow. And as I got older, it dawned on me like how much information that I could have got from this man or what I could have talked to this man about. Like, I think sometimes we do each other disservice. We so angry, and it's just me. We so angry and bitter and upset about what it is somebody didn't do. We know what they didn't do. That's obvious. But at this point, it can't hurt you to have a relationship because by that time, we already got barriers put up that protect us from not getting hurt by this person. But what can we learn from this person? What can that individual give us that can help us? And I think that's how I looked at when I was kind of yearning for that relationship later. It was kind of like, he can't hurt me. He already did that. Now, the only thing he can do is help me. So let's see what it is. But I understand that for other people, it's not that easy. and they do have an emotional tie because, you know, he said he was coming and you sat out there on the curb and he never came and stuff like that. So I understand that. But I just feel like at this point in age, it only benefits us to have a relationship, not really hurt us.
I like the way you said you kind of just have to grow out of it, and you have to look at it as, look, I'm here. If he's still here, then I need to do what I can to try to mend or have some type of relationship with him, because I can learn more from him than I can't away from him, you know.
And the only reason I say that, because I was in a situation to where I didn't care who this person was. Like, I remember saying vividly, like, if this man died tomorrow, I don't care. I don't know him. You know what I'm saying? But when he died and I went to the funeral, and I'm like, damn, it's too late. Like, even if you wanted to have that relationship, it's too late. So I just feel like, you know, sometimes we harbor a lot of feelings and emotions that's bottled up in us, and that ain't gonna do nothing but hurt yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to learn to let some of that stuff go. And I know,
kind of
again,
disagree with that, only because I kind of am in like that same situation. Like, my biological father has been reaching out to me for the past few years, and I don't feel like I would want a relationship with him, because why now? I mean, it's only for his benefit, not mine. I'm fine where I am.
And I understand it, which is why I said earlier, everybody's not there. And I wouldn't push you. Like, I wouldn't come to you and say, oh, Grace, you need to have that relationship with him. I wouldn't push that. But I also I understand how some people aren't ready to be where I was. But for a long time, I was like that. But after he passed is when I realized, like, for me, like, dang, like, he can't hurt me. And I can't, I'm not in your shoes. So I can't talk for you, but he can't. The way you set up and how grounded you are, he can't really do anything to you, because you're not going to allow it. You already built how you built. You already set up. So only thing he can do is either add to it or get away from me. And that's it.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, because I know this is subjective. For you, what does it mean to be a man?
You're right. Like, for me, you're right. It's subjective. But for me, it's just being, from everything we talked about, it's being responsible, man. Like, it's taking care of your responsibilities, being a man of your word to your responsibilities. Like, you know, making sure you're doing what you can for your responsibility. I know sometimes people be like, oh, you got to provide, you got to do this, that, and third. And that's cool. That's great. That is a big part of it. But it's some people who can't provide, but if you can just take your daughter and take her to the park and swing, you're being responsible to that. Maybe one day they'll grow up and understand that, oh, my dad just didn't have it, or, you know, maybe drugs or something was a problem, but he showed up every day. I know he was drunk or high or whatever, but he still took me to that park. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like, to me, being a man is. I know some people may say, like, if you can pull the engine out your car with your bare hands, you're a man. Cool, do your thing.
You might be strong as shit. You might be on something.
Here is so crazy, but nah, I'm for real. Like, it's something you said. To me, that's just some of the things of being a man, standing on your word. Like, you know, like, I think sometimes in our community, sometimes we put being a man, we box it in with being in the dating world, especially. Oh my God, you'll put, oh man, you're not a man because I don't like you, or I don't want to do XYZ with you. And it's like, oh, you're not a man because of that. And I don't think that's what it is. You could be handling your business. I remember, you know, when I was a single father, and you sitting there like dating the dating world, and you sitting there taking care of your child, and somebody say, because you don't want to be with them, or you don't want to do what they want you to do, oh, you're not a man. Like, luckily that didn't define me, because what defined me was what I was doing with my child. That made me,
that was being a man right there. Right.
And that's just it for me. Just handle your responsibilities, be a man of your word. Things don't work out relationship wise, but relationship wise doesn't necessarily define what a man is.
LaDonna, I'm thinking back to last week when we had Sean on, and he was talking about his dad and the sacrifices that he made, and about
that was dope.
Holes in his pants pocket, and doing what needed to be done for a family. To me, like you said, Mastaki, that is what a man is. You providing, you could care less about yourself.
And you know what's crazy? I heard Sean tell that story about how his dad had holes in his pocket, and he said that it wasn't that his dad couldn't go get whatever he needed to go get. He could have, and I'm sure he could have, but he didn't want. He wanted to make sure that his kids had whatever they needed, right? But sometimes as a man, it could get lonely in a sense, and I'm not trying to be there, but like if you someone like let's just take that example that Sean said, and you doing all of that, and then sometimes you wonder, like, you can see people sometimes like maybe not appreciate that as much or not see that as much, and you wonder, like, do they really see the sacrifices that I'm making, or do they really know? Even when I heard Scoop say, man, I had $110, like, but I wanted to impress this girl so bad that I took her on a date, and I was just praying that she didn't ask for a dessert, because if she did, my car was going to decline. I was going to be messed up. It's just little stuff like that. And sometimes as men, it get isolating because we do wonder, do people recognize that as part of us trying to show our sacrifice? That shit that you can't see. You don't get to see that it's $115 on that card. Yeah. And you just got a plate that was $112, and I was $3 shy of being messed up. But I want to do that for you. Right. So that's just, I don't know.
Going into the dating world, and you're not taught how to be a husband. You're not taught how to be, how to treat a woman from a man's point of view. If you had sons, because I know you have daughters, if you were to have a son one day, what would be some of the things that you teach him when it comes to being a man, how to treat a woman, just those things?
My main thing I tell my sons is just be honest, man. Yeah. It hurts sometimes to be honest. Honesty come with some stuff. Mm-hmm. I know sometimes I got in more trouble being honest than I did. And we talked about the toxic part. I got in more trouble being honest than I did when I lied. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of made you feel like, well, maybe I just need to lie because I get everything I need if I lie. But if I be honest, shit, I'm in trouble. So I would teach my sons to be honest, man. Like, don't lie, man. Don't manipulate. Be honest. Stand on your word. Tell the truth. And let everything fall where it may. And that's just my biggest important thing, is just being honest, man. Because I noticed that when people be honest, even if they kind of manipulated the situation for themselves in the bit of you being honest, a lot of times they'll come back later down the road and be like, you know what? I appreciate you just because I was tripping, but you were always honest with me.
Right.
You always told me the truth, and I can respect that because you told me the truth.
Because we're emotional human beings. Like women, right. We're very emotional. So in the moment, we won't understand it. It won't be something that we may even view you as being, this motherfucker toxic. He ain't got interest that hard. He just, But then once we get into a good situation, we can finally look back and be like, you know what? He was giving me all the hints that I needed. It was my decision to stay. Mm-hmm. Now, if I was gonna stay,
me and Mustaka was talking about that today.
That little toxic motherfucker was kind of honest, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was.
And maybe it wasn't really him. It was a little bit of me.
It was a little bit of me.
Yeah.
In some situations,
in some situations. Yeah. Definitely say some.
Men can be so manipulative that it just does not create a avenue for a woman to be who she is. It can, you have a lot of different situations out here, but for the most part, I know that we have a choice. Women, right. We have a choice, and we would rather a man be very honest than to be lying to us. If he is honest, then take his honesty to heart.
I've always taught Warren that. I know I'm not a man, but I know from the things that I know I wanted him to learn as a young man was to always be honest. I'm like, son, if you don't want to be in a relationship with someone, don't just tell them person alone. Mm-hmm. Just tell them. I said, I promise you, coming from a woman, we rather take honesty I was like, if they still want to be bothered with you after that, that's all on them. You've let them know from the beginning what it is. Always be honest.
The only part you didn't tell them was that you're gonna still get beat up for being honest. That's all you didn't tell them. Now, okay?
Well,
all right.
he'll hear.
Right. Like, but straight up though, it is true. Like, because if you be honest and just tell the truth, like, hey, I don't want this, I don't want that. People may still fool with you, you know what I'm saying? And still do what you do, but you can always go back on the fact that I told you. And so regardless of what happened from that, I told you.
Yeah. I want to ask a question too. I just really want to know from a man. We talked about things that you learn. I don't know how emotional your mother was, but do you think men lack emotion because they don't have that male figure that's showing them how to actually be an emotional human being or an emotional male? Because I think sometimes when men who are raised by women, they look at us as women and they think, oh, I don't want to be emotional like that. Right. But then when it comes from a man, you can see your dad in distress, but how he handles himself in distress. You can see him upset, but how he handles himself. But if you hadn't seen that emotion evoked from a male, like how do you realize how do you handle that? Like even when it comes to your own emotions, like you don't want to cry, but you should cry. If you want to cry, but you're taught as a boy, don't cry.
Yeah, don't cry, boy. Shut up. Be quiet. Yeah. Boys don't cry. All that good stuff, right? I do think that as men, and that's my personal opinion. Let me say that for the guys who are listening before they tear me up. I do think that sometimes as men, we are taught not to be as in touch with those emotions. Men don't cry, boys don't cry, stuff like that, right? And it can have its shortcomings. My mom, like I said, she would tell me that it's okay to cry. Like, but if you cry tonight, don't cry about that same, why are you crying about that same thing for a week?
Yeah.
Why are you crying about that same thing for 2-3 days? Like, it made you cry day one. It may even made you cry day two, but day three, figure out how to not make that let you cry. Like, it's time to figure out how to fix it. And it was no time to waddle in how to fix it. And so that was me. My mom taught me that. Like, to your point, there was no man really taught me, the emotional side of it. My mom taught me that. And I know this sounds crazy, but I'll go to football coaches and stuff like that. They really honestly teach us some things about life that people don't really realize sometimes when we playing sports. But they teach you how to manage emotions. Football and sports really is a game of emotions. You got a lot of highs, you got a lot of lows, but you have to manage the highs. You can jump out and 21-0 in the first quarter, and everybody excited, oh, the game over, but it's not. It's not. No, you got to manage the emotions of, oh, we easily got the 21 points, but the other team, it can be gone like that. And so that's why I use football as an example, because sometimes people be a lot of men be shy to use football because they don't know how to use it, or they don't know how to use their sports. But it really do teach you a lot about life and managing emotions and managing time. So to me, that was a big catalyst for me to be able to handle emotions and do what I need to do.
How do you feel about coaches that are mishandling their position and their responsibilities in these kid leagues? I forgot what are they called?
Pop Warner and stuff like
that. Yeah.
Are you referring to the dude from Georgia
who hit
the kid?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that's trash, and there's no place. It's no place for that in sports. You know what I mean? Like, that's not needed. That's not how you teach a kid to. Now, I had a coach that would cuss you out.
Yeah.
Like, every sport, every level that I played, you got critiqued, you got cussed out. It was to the point. Every practice that we practiced, they brought the shit in there, and you watched yourself on tape. You were always critiqued and always have to be open to criticism. That's one thing about a lot of men, especially men who play sports. You have to be open for criticism, regardless of what sometimes women may think about us. a lot of men already are built for criticism because we've already had to take that all our lives. We've already been open for critiquing. And somebody to say, hey, you're not doing this right. Hey, why? It could be some shit as your foot went this, it wasn't over here, it was right here. It literally, that's how much they critique you. So we get used to that, right?
Right.
Why that shit go in one ear and out the other?
It does. It does make the fuck that shit come. It does get you used to it, but no, it really does do that. And I just feel like to what you were asking, LaDonna, that the shit that nigga did was trash. It's not really needed. That's not how you teach a kid. You don't teach a kid by slapping him all across the head and grabbing his face mask. That was just a bounce too far.
Yeah, and you're seeing it a lot. You know what I mean? Like you said, a lot of these kids, their fathers are not present. Their moms are at the field all the time, bringing them to practice, taking them from practice, going to the games, and then you're that one male figure, and you're like treating them like trash. You treating them like they're animal.
You know what get that kid? What get that kid is the fact that Monday through Friday, and then even on Saturday when they play games, you spent time with them.
Yeah.
You spending time with them. And so that time that you get with them is time that other people don't. And during that time, that's when you can kind of teach them life stuff. And I think the world of coaches, especially little league coaches, man, them men don't get paid nothing to be out there on them fields, teaching them little boys the game and giving them knowledge and wisdom. And I appreciate all of those guys.
I saw that when Warren was growing up, and I saw like these guys, including his dad, like always at the field, never getting paid, taking the kids here, there, everywhere. Somebody don't have a uniform, somebody don't have this.
You gotta go get it.
They gotta go get it. And it's like they are selfless. So yeah, I mean, I do think they hold a lot of weight in these kids' lives, in these young black males' lives as well.
I agree. What do you think that men need from women that they're not getting?
Oh man.
I
speak for all men.
Yes, speak, honey. Speak.
Don't say head like y'all was talking about on y'all podcast.
Don't say what?
Head.
Other than head.
What do I think that men aren't getting that women need to understand?
I want you to be honest, like whatever you feel like it is, because if it's head, then say shit, sloppy head, or whatever it is, because that's something we want to know.
I honestly think, and a lot of men, you got to remember, shut up, boy, stop crying, all of that stuff. I think a lot of men, they're not really heard. It's my personal opinion. I just think that sometimes society makes a lot of black men not heard, and they don't have a voice, or when they try to voice their opinion, it's cut short, or it's cut in half, or that's not right. And to me, just me, I just think a lot of black men just not really feel like they're heard or have a voice to be heard. Whether y'all think it or not, I think whether they say it or not, don't listen to men sometimes because they lie. But they want to be told that you're proud of them. Yeah. They want to know that you appreciate them. They may not ever say it, but they like that shit. You know, they'll come back later on and say it, or they'll vent to their homeboy, man, I did this, and she ain't even say nothing. Like, yeah, he want words of affirmation too. Don't let him fool you. You can be as tough as you want to be, and that's fine. But he wants that.
You're right, Osaki. I used to do that a lot too, and I'm not even gonna lie. I'm really guilty. I think since quarantine, I have not been the person that would be like, "Oh, I'm super proud of you," but I need to do better.
They just want to know that,
and I'm that person. I'm gonna be.
They just want to know that you recognize. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, LaDonna.
No, that's why I was just saying. Yeah, I'm that person. Like, I'm gonna let you know I'm proud of you, especially if we're in a good space. Now we're not.
We're not.
That's kind of difficult for me to, jump from "I hate you, nigga"
right.
to "I'm so proud of what you're doing," despite what we have going on.
You might be a little dry, be like, "Oh, I see.
Right,
I see what you did."
That's understandable. But that's understandable.
To be that, especially I've heard that men really want that when they come home, they want to be able to put down like I'm this strong black man. And so sometimes I know I hope Sean don't get mad at me, but sometimes I just like hold him, you know what I mean? And I just rub his head and I
Hey,
just
nothing wrong with that.
allow him to be like vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
Mhm.
And that's a big thing, because like one of the worst things ever as a man from my point of view is that if I open myself up to be vulnerable and you make me feel bad for being vulnerable,
Yeah.
like you critique that vulnerability, or you like make me feel like I shouldn't have been vulnerable in that moment,
Yeah,
you might not never get him to open up again. So like
that's so true. That is
that's
so
just
true.
something to think about from a man's perspective, and I don't speak from all men.
Because you guys already have an ego. So just imagine if you come to us and you lay all that down and then we just crush your ego even more. So yeah, that'll never happen again.
Yeah. And then,
Right. And it could be even
like you
like, us. Yeah. And it could even be us like telling you like everything we trying to do. And then you just be like, oh, okay. Shit, I'm not gonna bring this
I
shit up
know.
ever
You
again.
know
Like,
what?
okay, cool.
I used to do that to Scoot only because I'm like, you already know how just nonchalant he is. So if I'm like, oh, I'm doing this and this and and I'm so excited, he'd be like, that's good. And I'd be like, bruh, say something else. But then I had to get used to the fact that that was just how he is. And you just really have to like coerce him into conversation. And it's not because he don't want to have conversation, it's because he's really not a conversationalist.
And some of the biggest things, biggest misconceptions about people who are nonchalant or kind of just laid back is that they don't care or that
Right.
they lack emotion. And that's not really the truth.
Right.
It's just that they internalize it and project it off different.
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Do you have any other questions? Because I kind of want to switch it over just a little bit before we're
Go ahead,
done.
switch it up.
Okay, so as of right now in 2021, 2020 was crazy. Crazy, not only for black men, but for black women. But we've also saw that it has been, monumental for black men, I'm sorry. It has been just kind of horrible. You don't know, especially I kind of got this from, I was watching, I think, Basketball Wives, and they were just talking about the movement and everything that has happened in 2020 with George Floyd, Ahmaud, all of that, Breonna Taylor, everything that happened in 2020 that kind of shifted the African American dynamic and how we feel like we're able to go through life. It was already hard, but now it's magnified.
Mhm.
So it showed where Malaysia was teaching her children like what if the police bust in our home? How are you to respond when different things arise? And you know what, Masaki and Grace, I never thought about that, especially having daughters. I think it would have been different having sons, but the fact that I don't have daughters, the fact that I don't have sons, I kind of like, just kind of put it in the back of my head. It's in the back of my head as far as my household. But, I think about with Sean, we got pulled over one time. I immediately went to my recorder. Once I saw he was white, I immediately turned on my recorder. Like, we do not know how to act as a people, as if it's almost to where we feel like we don't belong, So now we're always on defense mode. So coming in as a black man, as a black father, what are some of the things that you're teaching the young black men around you, the sons, don't have your hands in your pockets when you're walking down the street. Don't put on hoodies. You know what I mean? What are some of the things that you think should be taught in this day and age as a black man?
We talk about this a lot on our platform, on the Dummies podcast. Like, it's tough because I don't want to be the guy to say, if you do this, X will happen. Because we've seen so many different times that even with complying, even when following the rules and stuff, that we seem to get it worse than anybody else, right? But one of the things that I was taught, and I still feel like is a thing to talk. Like if I get pulled over right now tomorrow, I want to make it. I got pulled over like a month ago,
Yeah.
and I tried to make sure it was as easy as possible.
Mhm.
I rolled down the window before he got there.
Mhm.
I put my hands on 10 and 2.
Mhm.
I just left him there until he got up there. Is it necessary? People say, "Oh, you're American. You don't need to do all that. That's fucked up that you have to do that." It is,
Yeah.
but that is what I feel like I need to do to make it through that moment. Hey, where's your license and registration? Okay if I reach, or it's right here in this box. Is it okay if I get that? I had a police officer laugh one time. Shit wasn't really funny to me,
Wasn't funny.
but I
Right.
was dead ass
Right.
serious when I asked him, like,
Was
is
he
it
a white
okay
officer?
yeah, and he was like, I was like, is it okay for me? I was like, is it okay for me to reach down here and get my license? Yeah, it's fine. No, shit, ain't shit fun about that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
for us, it is a terror. I was 9 years old when I first got pulled over by the police and said that you fit the description of somebody who stole a bike. Imagine that as a 9-year-old kid.
Wow.
I didn't steal a bike. I was sitting there playing, and here he come. I was terrified of the police from that point. Every time I seen him, I got scared. Right.
Wow.
So I just feel like, for me, my personal opinion, and this everybody else, they may have rebel different opinions and things. I just feel like, do your bet. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Keep your hands visible, where they can see them, because you don't already, with our color of our skin, they already taught that we're tougher, or that
Mhm.
we're thugs or gangsters or whatever that shit be. And I don't want to give them another reason. Now, for somebody else, they may be not what they teach their sons, but that's just me. I want to try to do the best I can to make it through that situation. And not saying that even me following that directive that I just said doesn't necessarily mean that I make it through it.
Right. Right. You just trying to get to your family. I
Right.
just want to
That's
see my
it.
family. That's it.
Look, man, do whatever you got to do. Yes. What do you need? What do I have? I don't have that. No. Can you search the car? Sure. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, just comply and do your best you can to make it through that situation. And that does not guarantee anything that I just said. I want to be clear. That does not guarantee that you make it through, because we have seen over and over and over again where sometimes people that look like us do not make it even through what I just said.
Right.
And
Right.
it's sad that we have to really give our kids this tutorial on how to navigate
Life.
going back and forth to and fro to whatever you're doing. I remember when we got Warren his first car, the first time he drove the car, it was to school to register, him and his buddy, and he got pulled over. And I had this conversation with him plenty of times before, and he was like, "Ma, I just got pulled over by the cops." And the reason why he got pulled over is because we had just bought the car, so he just had the temporary tag. And I was just coming back from the license plate, or the DMV, to get his tag. And he was just like, the guy was okay, but that made my heart stop. The fact that he got
Right.
stopped, because it
It's
scares
scary.
me. It scares me every
Yeah.
time he leaves the house in the car, and I'm just like,
It's-
just let him be okay.
it definitely is a scary moment. And I have to sometimes, and again, might not be the most popular opinion, but I've been pulled over a bunch of times, and we've made it through those situations, unfairly or not. Like, I've been in situations where we just been walking down the street and you get slammed on the car and searched in your pockets. That's not right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, our liberties are being infringed upon, but you just do whatever you can to get through that situation. And hopefully one day that shit change and we don't have to go through all of those things like that. So
Yeah.
Man, this was an amazing conversation. I always have really good conversation with you, Stock. So I really appreciate you coming to our platform and blessing our platform with all this great knowledge about how, you became such a great Black man with limited paternal role models in your life. So you're dope. Keep being dope. Thank you for listening.
And I also want to say something too, Mustaka, because since we are talking about how to be a man and learning how to be a man, you have been very influential. Even though Scoot has definitely been there for Warren, you definitely have been influential in helping my baby become a man. So I definitely want to say thank you, because although, you and Todd love to say y'all want to take him to the strip club, I know you got some more advice than that. And he listens to y'all on the podcast. So I know what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
It reverberates and he's listening. So I appreciate you for that.
And honestly, like, with you, Grace, like the very first time I met Warren walked in as a kid, so different. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. He walked in, he wasn't scared of nobody in the room. He wasn't shy or intimidated by nobody in the room. He walked in there like he had been in the room for years. And it was kind of shocking to me to just see a kid who came in like that. So that just let me know what great of a job that you had already did, with him prior to. So, again, I thank y'all for allowing me to come on y'all platform and sharing it with me. Hopefully I added some insight to it. Again, I'm proud of y'all. I appreciate y'all for, jumping in the space and creating the way that y'all do. And I want y'all to keep going. And like I keep telling y'all, this is just the beginning of where we going to take podcasting and Black voices. So
absolutely. Yes. It takes a village. It takes a village.
Oh yeah.
Indeed.
Oh yeah.
We appreciate you.
I
almost called you by your full name. We appreciate
you. You done already did it. You done already did it about 52 times.
They can Google you now.
Yeah. They'll find me.
They're gonna find nothing but your old rap songs.
Or something. See, look at you. You telling them most stuff to find me by, Grace.
That's all right.
I want people to Google you. The more they Google you, the more they Google the Dummies.
That's true. Make sure you go to thedummiespodcast.com on all platforms.
What can they find you on, you and the Dummies, on your social media?
Mine is, what is mine? Stock _ I don't even know what it is.
I think you changed it.
I changed it, and that's why I don't even know how to find
IG or something. But we'll put it
stock _ IG, at Instagram or whatever. And thedummiespodcast.com or the Dummies Podcast on Instagram, Facebook. If y'all like it, subscribe, come over to YouTube, and follow what we got going. We drop every Monday.
Yeah.
Yep.
And until next time, you dig. What you say?
Who, me?
Yeah. How do you?
We'll be back next week like we never left, because like we say every week, we never leave. You dig?
You dig?
You bitch you. I'm tired. You bitch
That's
you. All right, you guys. We want to thank once again Stock Smith from the Dummies Podcast for stopping by and gracing us with his presence and letting us in on a little insight about, men and growing up and how it is to mature and become into the man that you want to be.
Right.
But if you guys want to find us, you can hit us up at ask2dopegirls@gmail.com. You can find us on IG. That's 2dopegirlspod, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, 2dopegirls podcast. Like, subscribe, do all that. Interact with us.
All of that. Comment. All of that.
Yeah, and you can find me at Grace Face with 2 underscores on IG.
Yes, and Naturally Pretty I'm not at anything. At Naturally Pretty on IG.
It's been a long night.
Yes, it has. It definitely has. But we thank y'all for sticking with us.
Yes, and I enjoyed you, my dear. You look beautiful. Love your hair. You look good, girl.
You too, y'all. We'll see y'all next time. And
all right,
girls out.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Dope girl, dope the dope girls. Dope girls, dope the dope girls. Dope the dope